Aiming good is feeling good, and the best way to aim good is by glowing up. The way you want to glow up should be done in a systematic way. There are hundreds of different ways you can improve yourself both in knowledge and in raw aim. And in this video, we'll break it down for you in a way that will give you a proper roadmap to aiming and feeling your best. We will break down your aim journey into two categories: long-term goals and short-term goals. Not everything you do will give you instant results. For example, one of the most important parts of glowing up is hitting fundamentals, but it can take weeks and months for you to see results. This is a long-term win. A short-term win is something that's going to instantly give you results, like consciously increasing the speed of your flicks. With that said, let's begin with long-term wins. Number one on our list is, of course, precision tracking. Nothing will make you aim better like hitting a difficult tracking scenario, but we're not going to tell everyone they should begin a journey with the hardest aim field. Some of you need to start with larger scenarios, conditioning it down into smaller ones. Others might need adapt scenarios to slowly scale the difficulty, and a percentage of you instantly benefit from the difficulty. Whatever your preference, all of these can be achieved through training. Key here is to realize what you allow into your brain. If you frequently hit a target larger than your in-game equivalent, you're showing your brain that it's okay to shoot around the target and still reach your goal. Imagine this scenario. You're training close long strafes and hit 60% accuracy. That's amazing, you think for yourself, 90th percentile. But where on the bot did you hit? The edges? Were you smoothly tracking the target? And were you pressured? You then hop into game and do the exact same tracking pattern, only to undertrack and completely miss. So what happened to that 60%? Firstly, it's common while tracking to hit the edges of the bot, while in-game targets are often thinner and at times at a greater distance, causing them to appear even smaller. You've simply replicated the goal you've shown your brain is effective in Kovaaks. When we then go in-game against a much faster and thinner target, we completely mess up. It's no wonder people say aim training isn't effective. You're hitting targets way larger than your in-game equivalent and blaming the patterns you yourself built up. So how do we play difficult and realistic scenarios while we're at a beginner or intermediate level? That brings us to number two on our list: conditioning. If aim is planting the seed, conditioning is watering that seed. We're not aim theorists, so we like to keep it simple. Conditioning implies playing an easier scenario ahead of a harder one. For example, instead of hitting 3 minutes of centering, you play 1 minute of centering 1 followed by centering 2 and 3, which are all faster variants, slowly working up the difficulty to hit the harder version. It's crucial to have a month-long routine that slowly leads up to subsequential growth, where one day of the week is focused on upping your standard through difficult scenarios. The routine can include a popular conditioning method called SYA. SYA involves slowing down the timescale to 75% before hitting your normal scenario. This ensures we work the fundamentals of aim while still hitting that difficulty that's crucial for aim success. Some great playlists are Torie Reactive Conditioning and my own SIA and Conditioning playlists. Number three on our list is speed matching. Starting a speed routine is paramount to your long-term aim. When the pressure is on, the targets move quite fast and appear on your screen in milliseconds. It's therefore crucial to match their movement speeds flawlessly. We do this by working faster smoothness scenarios like swave track. You want to start very simple, and I want you to keep this in mind when you're training. There's no such thing as slow, fast, or larger targets. There's only larger, thinner, slower, or faster than your in-game equivalent. Again, all should be referred to your in-game difficulty. It then makes sense to play scenarios that are faster or sometimes harder than what we need. And this is where conditioning really helps. I recommend players of an adequate level to try my playlist for BK Smoothest Fast. Number four, what is some stuff you can do right now to make your aim better? For this, I want you to imagine how a gunfight works. There's a pop of information, pressure, you flicking, and then clicking. But most of us have the poor habit of firing our shot before acknowledging if we're on target. That means we now have to adjust or track with recoil in mind. These are habits that are holding you back, and you should know exactly which ones you need to break. Some of the most common ones being clicking without adjusting and not having a confirmation habit in Kovaaks. This will make your aim look random, unconfident, and give your aim a sloppy look that's not pleasant to look at. Combine this with other bad habits like poor smoothness, and you're on the quick track to glowing down. This is where regen or evasive target switching comes to help. These scenarios move in a pattern that force tracking after a flick, ensuring we're able to stay on target even after a speedy mouse movement. This is very relevant to TAC FPS games. To understand why, we must understand how an aimbot works. Imagine spotting an enemy but being incapable of shooting for up to 1 millisecond, yet you're flawlessly flicking and tracking his head. Do you think this would help or ruin your chances of hitting your future shot? It's therefore crucial to learn the skill of flicking and tracking. Recommended playlists are Trippa's Smooth Regen or my very own Smooth Regen playlist. You may also try figuring out which scenarios are available as regen variants and swapping them out in your playlist. Number 5, check out our shorter videos on glowing up to boost your aim knowledge. There's nothing less attractive than someone who aim trains without any knowledge or reasoning for what they're doing. We could literally have over 100 aim tips, but it would make this video way too long, so check out my over 200 videos on my channel for more aim help.